Thank you so much for coming and speaking to people about the travel season.
It's my pleasure. I think when you're planning any trip, it's about when you imagine yourself in that particular destination, how does that really make you feel? I have a list in my Google Sheet which has visa-free destinations and visa on arrival and e-visas. How I can utilize that time that I'm traveling by doing multiple destinations because that's much cheaper. Of course, like looking up at hotels that are best rated but also price goes from low to high. When you go to the prime airports of a destination, the price can be really, really expensive. But when you go to the airports around the city, then it becomes much cheaper. When I came back from the trip, I actually fell into depression. It just really humbles you and then you just start questioning everything in your life.
People who want to travel, right, they normally do it for recreation purposes. They do it for a break, self-care. But what you touch upon is a very interesting concept that it also helps you grow.
I wish I could see Dubai once from a touristy point of view. Travel really taught me what embracing unpredictability.
If you could pick anyone in the world to travel with,
Samay Raina.
Samay Raina, he'll at least keep you entertained.
With ARK, just real people, real things.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of All Real Konvos with your host Asad Raza Khan, the show where we have real conversations with real people in a cool and casual environment just for your entertainment. Today our guest is very special and this is a special episode. We're at the start of summer and every one of you, I'm sure, is ready and planning for their next summer trip, whether alone, whether with their partner, or whether with their families. Today, we have a content creator who has made travel into her life. It's actually a profession I want to do myself, but she is lucky enough to pursue this. We have Kaunain Fatima.
Hello, hi.
Hi Kaunain, how are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm very, very good. And thank you so much for coming and speaking to people about the travel season.
It's my pleasure. I mean, honestly, it's so great what you're doing and I'm so grateful to be here. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kaunain. So, Kaunain, your life started very different and today is very different. And I'm sure a lot of people who follow you know this side but don't know the history. So maybe you could tell us where it started from and how you became a travel content creator.
That's a good question because, sometimes even when people identify me as a travel creator, I think like me, really me. And when I get recognized, it's a feeling that I wake up every day feeling so grateful to. But just to correct you on that, I used to create content much before I got into travel. So being here in Dubai, I think when COVID mein people were giving birth to babies, I gave birth to my page, which I started just purely out of passion because I was that friend who people would ask like, what's happening around? Is there some place to eat? Is there something to do? And I used to just love capturing photos and videos. For me, capturing a moment is like preserving it forever. So I just started posting on Instagram and, one thing led to another. People have seen my journey of when I used to create content locally. And then they saw me juggling that with my 9 to 5. And then they saw me quitting my 9 to 5 and getting into this full time. And then suddenly they saw me getting into travel and they were like, wow, so my entire audience has been part of my journey. It's the people who I'm not just speaking to in the camera, but speaking with, and they relate to that and they're always rooting for me. So.
And how does that ecosystem make you feel? Like, is it one big happy family? How does that ecosystem, how's your connect with that ecosystem?
Well, it is a very different feeling because the Kaunain I'm here, before travel was a different person. And then there is this Kaunain who became a travel blogger. And then people started calling me inspiration and, using such heavy words that I only looked for in others. So that has been really a very surreal feeling. And it meant that you are so relatable even when you are not here in person. So moments like these make me feel like I'm not just talking to a screen, but actual
there is an audience behind it.
People, So yeah, that's how it is.
travel, right? You said
Yeah.
that you used to do a lot of local content over here, which we will get to, by
Yeah.
the way. There's a lot of hidden gems of Dubai, which I would love to get your point of view on. But when you made your travel journey, right, was it something which you planned, or it just happened, or it was something you were passionate about? Why that segue into travel?
So travel was always supposed to be an outcome of what I do as a creator.
As a creator.
Sorry, travel was always supposed to be an outcome of what I do as a creator. You know, I'll make some content, I'll make some money, I'll have time in my hand, and I'll save up, and I'll probably do a trip or two in a year, because now I don't have to worry about my leaves and all of that. But I never thought travel would become the source of my work, you know. And so when I got my first ever travel opportunity, it was totally out of the blue. And I was just sitting one day, and they were like, you know, do you want to go to this one country and explore and promote that destination to Dubai? And I was like,
Is
obviously.
this a scam? Is this a scam? Like,
Actually, I was like, what, me? Okay, yeah, I guess. And I was, at that time, I was only on like 35K followers
Okay.
or 40K followers at that
Okay.
time. So I was like, me, okay, cool, yeah. I had to play it very chill, like, yeah, of course, please let me know what the deliverables are. But here I was screaming, and I was like, oh my God, because I never traveled before. I was always, you know, going back to India and then back to Dubai, meeting my grandparents and back. I think the maximum I had stepped out was go to Dehradun once in India. That's it. And I was like, oh my God. And this trip ended up becoming my first ever international trip.
wow.
My first solo trip, my first work trip. It was the first time I saw snow. So there were so many firsts. And later it became the trip I got married. Like the destination.
Destination. Wow, it
yeah.
was that special that you went back and got married.
Exactly. So, you know, that place just, that feeling of what I felt there, rather than, you know, I was sent to create an itinerary and show, but I came back with feeling so much.
Much more.
Yeah. And then I think that led to another trip, you know, that excitement
It was
and
like
that
a drug,
feeling.
right? That
Yeah.
now you have to. By the way, for our viewers, what was that place?
That was Georgia.
Georgia, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that was
beautiful place. It's a
Georgia.
beautiful
And then
place.
I think one trip led to another, and I think the brands and, you know, they started seeing that I was just creating much more than just itineraries, and then here I am with.
So, you spoke about Georgia, right? It was your first work trip. It was your
Yeah.
first international trip, your first solo trip, and you went back and got married over there. What was one trip which was like the first eye opener, where you felt that a part of your personality or your point of view had changed?
So, there were I think with every trip that I took, there was something that I always carried back, because this is from a girl who never really traveled. So even when I witnessed my first mountain experience, you know, that changes something. But these were all happy memories. When I went to Everest Base Camp, I did a 100 kilometers trek. That trip actually changed me, because you won't believe, when I came back from the trip, I actually fell into depression. And it was very confusing for me,
Yeah, it is,
because I was like, I
People
am
normally come back happy.
people come back happy. And I'll tell you what, I met a person on the way during my trek, and this was on day 5. It was a 12-day trek, so it was on my day 5. I met him. He was sitting by himself, and he looked really, really sad. I went up to him, and I asked him, why are you so sad? I just took a very beautiful video of you, and I want to airdrop. It looks so nice, because he's sitting at this rock and there's water flowing. And I just airdropped it to him, and I was like, this is such a beautiful video. I want you to have it. And I was like, by the way, you look so sad. I mean, is everything okay? I just wanted to ask him. And he's like, yeah, I'm just coming back from the summit after going up 8,000 meters.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, wow, like
yeah.
you are an inspiration.
Yeah.
Why are you sad? He's like, I just don't know what to do with life anymore. Like, I just feel so different. And I really didn't understand. I was like, what? This is so weird. Like,
Yeah,
you just did something so great.
Yeah.
Then when I came back from just doing 5,600 meters, I was like, I remember that phase. It was like something had shifted in me. It was also because I think I was not ready to witness what I am capable of doing. And it mentally shifted my perspective of who I am. I always saw myself as this girl who was always in her comfort zone growing up in Dubai. And I walked 100 kilometers. That was something,
Outside
that
your comfort zone.
outside my comfort zone. And I think that entire ability to see myself from a different lens really changed the whole narrative for me. And that trip really changed the whole just the way I looked at myself, just the way I looked at life. You're here driving cars, you see a limo, Porsche, you just see these things every day. But from where I trekked, there are no cars
Correct.
at all. There's not a single road for a car. I've seen people carry fridge on their back.
Yep.
I've seen every single thing being accounted for. So yeah, it just really humbles you, and then you just start questioning everything in your life, like this is reality too, and it's so different from yours.
So people who want to travel, right, they normally do it for recreation purposes.
Yeah.
They do it for a break, self-care. But what you touch upon is a very interesting concept, that it also helps you grow
Yeah.
as a human being. What is something about travel, when people travel, especially like let's say they're doing the travel planning right now, what is one thing that they should look for in a destination, even beyond the recreation, which could help them grow as a human being?
I think when you're planning any trip, it's about when you imagine yourself in that particular destination, how does that really make you feel? Like, would you enjoy sitting in a nice cafe and having coffee and have a slow morning because you wake up every day taking, a car ride stuck in traffic? Would that make you happy? Or something like you've never tried, maybe you don't know how to swim, and imagine you're sitting and you see dolphins, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know how to swim. This is from my personal experience, where I'm like, I don't know how to swim, I'm scared of the ocean, but there are dolphins right in front of me, and I could just get down there and see them and swim with them. These feelings that really tie a knot in your stomach, that is your gut saying that this is probably what you should
be doing
or should be trying. So I think when you're trying to plan a destination, like my friends ask me, like, Kaunain, can you suggest some place that we can go in summer? I'm like, what do you want? Like, what
So it's very personal.
Yeah.
Right? It's very personal.
What do you feel? Would a budget make you happy? Then fine, man. There are so many countries like this is just put low to high. Fine. If that makes you happy, then that's great as well. So I think that feeling is what you should really look for, because how often do we get to travel, right, in a year? So you might as well come back knowing that you didn't just see a place but actually got something back with you.
I love this point, right? That when you sit down, the first step to plan a trip is to decide where to go.
Yeah.
And I think rather than just taking the hot spots where
Yeah.
everyone went or your friends went, I think this is a very good place to start, is what
Yeah.
does that place do for you?
Yeah.
What is that you're getting out of it?
But more important than that is, what passport do you hold? And can you go visa free? I mean, that, when I get these kind of feelings, like, of course, I want to go to Antarctica. That's like my dream destination. Like, I think when I go to Antarctica, I'll be like, oh my God, I've done it,
You've done it, you've made it.
But, hello?
The visa.
The visa. So, practically,
See,
yes.
I come from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Visa is part of my reality.
Oh my God.
I have to get a visa to go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But I think that it makes you a better planner.
Yeah.
Especially living in Dubai, everything is very accessible, right? All the embassies are here,
Yeah.
everything is here. But I love the point of view that you had, is that, look at what you want out of it, whether it's a
Yeah.
budget, whether it's excitement, whether it's entertainment, whether it's chill, whether it's just having a coffee with the sunset, and then go for that, because those
Yeah.
places will be more fulfilling. So now,
Yeah.
how do people, once they've decided where they want to go to, how do they plan the perfect trip? Like, what are the tools that they can access? What are the kind of things that they should, keep in consideration when they're planning the trip?
So this is something that I personally do, is, of course, there are so many goals that I have, like travel goals, but I know that I can't do everything at once. So I'm like, okay, you know what, inshallah, I have a long life and I will take one step at a time when the time is right. But the visa thing is an actual step that I take. So being an Indian passport holder, we are restricted to a lot of countries, but also there are so many gems that you don't really know about. So I would first do that. So I have a list in my Google Sheet which has visa-free destinations and visa on arrival and e-visa. So I'm like, okay, this is something that, you know, I should explore. But another thing that I also keep in mind is how to make the most of it, because like you rightly mentioned that Dubai has great connectivity, you know, to any part of the world. It's very great like that. But that also means that, you know, we're in UAE. So going to Asia and then, or going to Europe or going to, you know, US, these countries, they're still like a little far off. Being said, we are in a great place, but you know, what I would do is how I can utilize that time that I'm traveling by doing multiple destinations, because that's much cheaper. So for example, going from here to Hong Kong would cost me like 4,000 dirhams probably. But if I do go to Hong Kong and then I can plan my trip to Singapore, Malaysia, and then I kind of, you know, stretch my holidays. Because Hong Kong to Singapore is like 200 dirhams only, you know. So these are some of the things I keep in mind. And of course, like looking up at hotels that are best rated, but also price goes budget, from low to high. That's a great feature in a lot of apps, you know, apps. So that really helps as well. And of course, if you are a creator or if you have skills that you think could benefit the property, then you could also offer them. So I don't shy away from reaching out to a brand and saying that I'm planning this destination. Would you like to collaborate? And I would love to create some content for you. And I've been surprised that, you know, a lot of them have actually, you know, responded back. And
but for normal people like me, it's very tough. If I write to somebody that would you like to collaborate, they'll be like, no, for you extra money. for a person like you, will charge you more.
So these are some of the things.
I think that this is good, right? Consolidation. And would you plan the trip yourself, or would you bank on like these apps or ChatGPT or travel agents? Like what's your take on it?
To be very honest with you, literally I had 10 days holidays. Okay, this was when this was just 2 years ago. We had 10 days holiday, combining the Eid holidays, and we were sitting and thinking like, where do we go? There's this one hack that I've learned throughout the thing is, when you go to the prime airports of a destination, the price can be really, really expensive. But when you go to the airports around the city, then it becomes much cheaper. So one of this experience I had was when I planned my trip to Kazakhstan. It was during the Eid holidays, and while the ticket was for 2,000, I actually paid 400 dirhams during Eid to actually go to that destination at a different airport, and I did a road trip from that destination to my main city.
That's very interesting.
And I did a road trip for like 10 days, you know, and we went to all these lesser known parts and just experienced everything. And
so rather than landing at a destination, like at the airport,
the capital
popular
city,
airport, and then going a road trip around, go to the least popular place and then
come
so
back.
Interesting. That's a very interesting hack. That's a very, very interesting.
I've actually done that, and it was so fun, and it's so nice because you get to explore the lesser known parts, and
that is the beauty, right? That's the culture, and that's the beauty. And as a solo female traveler, right, what are the incremental things that when you go to a destination, what are the incremental things that you look out for? And what are the extra precautions that you have to take?
I think the number one thing, like we women are designed in a great way where we have this ability to get an instinct.
Intuition.
Yes,
ask every husband on this planet.
Exactly.
And they'll tell you.
So now you know where the overthinking comes from. So I think that's a great power that we also have. And I would say that if something isn't fitting right and it's slightly out of your comfort zone, just step away and listen to your gut. That is something that you definitely need to be aware of. And I don't think we need to be scared of a destination. I think we just need to be more aware. And it could be by just avoiding the things that you would normally find very adventurous. When you're traveling solo, you stick to the basics. you know.
And Dubai spoils you, by the way.
Dubai does, right?
Spoils you quite a bit.
Exactly. So no, if you leave your handbag on a table while you're going to order for your food,
It'll disappear.
it will disappear. It will. So I think just be more conscious about your surroundings, and you'll be surprised to know that when you're actually out there, while the world is a little, there are also some very nice people that you'll meet along the way, and you just gotta be around that. Because I lived alone in India for 2 years, and I got stuck there during the whole COVID and everything. So for me, that was the phase in which I kind of applied all of this. So I used to be home by 10-11, which my parents would never believe me that I'm staying all by myself and I have the ability to take that freedom and do whatever I want. But
coming home at 10-11.
Yeah.
Just being more aware and err at the side of caution.
Yeah.
So now in Dubai, if there was anything right now, if there is anything about Dubai that you could travel with, right, what would that be?
Coming from Dubai, I think we are so lucky because you appreciate so many things. Like, okay, if I lived in India, I would be so normalized going to Sri Lanka, or I would find it so normal going to some mountainy area. Or if I was living in Europe, then I would find every other Europe destination the same. Staying in Dubai actually makes you feel so grateful for everything out there, because you are kind of limited on that front. And I don't mean this in a way where we don't have that. Like, of course we have a mini Maldives here, we have something here. Every part of the world is here in Dubai. But when I travel anywhere, that feeling of being a UAE resident makes the whole experience even more better, because I grew up here. Like, Dubai basically taught me how to be ambitious and how to dream bigger. But when I actually go out there and I experience the nature and everything, I think that for me is something that I really carry. And of course, there are other things in Dubai that, like the sense of security, like you had mentioned when we were talking. Dubai just spoils you. So you kind of also become more aware when you're out there.
And that's one thing which I would travel with. If I could travel with the security, man, it's like the most travel, and as a guy also, the most travel that whenever I travel, I'm anxious. Why? Because I'm like, it's not going to be safe. It's not going to be as safe. There's a spectrum of where it's less safe and more safe. But even like when I'm in the US and New York, I always keep checking over my shoulder, right? Something which you don't do in Dubai. So I would definitely carry the safety. From Dubai.
And I think also the fact that it's so comfortable here in so many aspects, that wherever I have traveled, I cannot possibly imagine even 5% of the comfort that we get here sitting at our doorsteps. I can order an iPhone at my doorstep.
Anything and everything, right?
I can order anything and everything. So the convenience also is something that I wish I could take that with me, because I'm hungry, I could just get down and eat. And of course the culture, the variety of people that you meet here, and the conversations you have. When I travel to any destination, I really have to adapt to those people, and I have to make sure that I'm not offending anyone, and I'm just having like a nice decent conversation. But here in Dubai, I mean, I'm jealous of the tourists who come here, because they get that. They get what we have in such a normalized way. They get that. I mean, I can't even imagine how they go back to their home experiencing Dubai.
So on this, let's have a thought on this, right?
Okay.
The one thing that a tourist coming to Dubai will have which a resident doesn't.
The one thing that tourists coming to Dubai will have that a resident doesn't.
Like, what's the one thing a resident is sort of missing out on?
I think the feeling of first. Like, how do you come here?
That's quite, that's nice. That's very deep. That feeling of first.
Yeah, you come here, and I wish I could see Dubai. Well, I hope not, but I wish I could see it once from a touristy point of view and take that with me. Because, like I said, how do you come to a place like this with so much convenience, with everything you could possibly want? You have mountains, you have mini, you have water bodies, you have nightlife, you have food from all around the world. It's It's like a mini world of its
Yeah,
own.
it is.
Like, how do you come to that destination and then want to go back anywhere else?
It's like your favorite movie, right? You see your favorite movie.
Yeah.
You don't wish that you hadn't seen it, but you wish you could see it for the first time.
Exactly.
All over again.
Yeah. So that is something. Yeah.
So now when people travel, right? When
Yeah.
people go from their home country outside, sometimes the bonds that they create in, like, let's say 2 days, 4 days of meeting somebody over there
Yeah.
is more stronger than some of the bonds that they have.
Yeah.
What is it about travel that is so unique that makes a person or sticks with a person so much and makes them open or so vulnerable that such bonds are formed, such memories are formed, and such impacts on their personality, like
Yeah.
you said, are formed?
I think it's also a lot to do with the person you're meeting. You don't know their history. They don't know yours. They are seeing you from a clean slate. They're seeing the version of you that is on that trip, and that version of you is probably the best version of you, because anyone who travels, they feel so happy about that moment, right? So I think seeing that person from that fresh eye definitely kind of makes you ease. That's why it's easier talking to a therapist than your own friend, right? But something like this had happened with me when I was in Zanzibar like 1 month ago, and we got stuck there. And we were these 3 girls who were not, one of them was a friend, and the other one, they also met like a year ago. So we were like very new to this, and we were stuck there for 12 days during this whole situation. And the bond that we created there was something that, like now they're part of all my milestones and I'm part of theirs. I think it's because I think when you meet people on your journey, or when you're having conversation with them, they also have seen the world from some perspective, and when you talk to them, you pick up part of their perspective into your life. Then other conversations or other things kind of feel shallow.
True.
You know what
you see
I'm
that
saying?
depth, right? You see that
You-
depth of the
yeah.
other side, because you've lived your life with one lens, with
Yeah.
one POV, and you suddenly see that there's another one that
Another one.
exists. Which is a very important point, right? Because I think that the more you travel, the
Yeah.
more your mind, social, political, religious, geographical point of views open up.
Yeah.
What's one thing in your personality, now that you've traveled, mashallah, so much, what's one thing in your personality which has really shifted versus the girl who had not traveled at all?
Wow. I think overall, I could not recognize myself. Honestly, for me, it was like I was this girl very used to structure, very used to stability, a 9 to 5 job, knew her salary, so knew her next move. Travel really taught me what embracing unpredictability is,
Interesting.
I was really afraid of changes. I always like to have control of my day, my to-do lists. Travel really taught me to just let it go and just be there. It also really taught me to live a life without holding yourself back. Because before travel, I was always this person who had opinions. I had opinions. No, I don't like this. I don't like that. I like this. I want to do this. I don't want to do this. But after travel, I became more fluid, and it's like, okay, let's try this. Let's try that. Like, it just made me more brave. And overall, I think it also really this life, this content creator life in general, really taught me how to add a lot of discipline in my life. Because when you start traveling, when you start meeting people, when you start seeing life beyond your reality, you actually start questioning everything, and you start feeling like, like normal feels very boring, and you just feel like I just want to do more. But yeah, so there were these little changes. I'm still like struggling
Still
with
evolving.
and evolving is the right word. I'm still like evolving. So I think that's pretty much what I feel like.
No,
it
it's
has
very
done.
true. My mother grew up, like when we were growing up, was from a very conservative school of thought.
Yeah.
Just lived in, Pakistan, and then in the middle she was in Saudi and then in the UAE. And that was her lens, right? That was her
Yeah.
lens. The first time we actually went and lived in Switzerland, and then we went and lived in the US, it opened her mind so much. So as you said, right, that now the person that I talk to, I can't recognize her from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was already at a very stubborn stage, because once
Yeah.
you get close to 50, you become very stubborn in
Yeah.
your ways. And that just opened her point of view. And I think that one of the things that people today do a lot is that they rely on travel as a break.
Yeah.
But I think travel as evolution, as you rightly said,
Yeah.
is also very, very important, because it's
Yeah.
not just a break from my 9 to 5
Yeah.
life. It's actually growing you like a
Yeah.
human being
It used
and
to
helping
be.
you discover.
Yeah, you're so right, because initially travel, like, for me, the mindset was like, okay, it's an escape, but now it's more of, like you said, it's an evolving kind of factor.
Feeling,
like
yeah.
it's a feeling, because every time I come back from a trip, there's a part of a version that I'm bringing
Bring back,
back.
yep.
A version that I didn't know was in me. So I feel like a flower, that's getting layered, like
Layers are
peeled
coming
one
out.
petal at a time, and I'm like, oh wow, I could do this. Oh wow, I have so much patience in such times. Oh wow, I could actually go swimming. Oh,
Yeah.
I could walk 100 kilometers. It makes you really, really start looking at yourself from a very deeper
Different
lens.
So what impacted your life more, perfectly planned trips or the ones where everything went wrong?
I think I've had fun in both.
Okay.
Yeah. When I have a perfectly planned trip, or when I know what I'm doing, it gives me more control. So I'm like, okay, I know what I'm about to see, and I also go like really prepared. So I like being that kind of traveler. Like if I know this is my itinerary, I would love to have my
Follow it,
itinerary,
yeah.
so that I just know what I'm going. So I don't feel too overwhelmed once I reach the place. I kind of know. So I'm that kind of traveler. Like if we are going to some mountain, I'll be like, I'll tell my husband, oh, did you know this thing happened here? Oh, did you know that thing also
Wow,
happened
you're
here?
that kind of traveler.
Yeah, so I love.
I'm a complete different. I'm a
Yeah.
nomad. I just show up. I
Yeah.
don't do anything. I just show up.
Yeah,
And
no.
then I'm asking taxi drivers where is the best place to eat, because they, by the way, give the best
Yeah.
recommendations for restaurants.
Yeah,
The
they
best.
do. And I love that, but also my husband is the total opposite,
Yeah,
like you
so you
said.
balance each other out.
So we reached Kazakhstan, like I told you. We went to another airport, and we're sitting at the airport. I still have that on my videos. We're sitting at the airport, and we're like, we removed a pen and paper, and we're like, okay, let's write now. What do we do? Okay, this place is this. We've done that.
On the
So I
fly.
think everything has kind of made me. And then the most messy trip was when I had my flight scheduled on the day
The
situation
yes.
and the war happened. That was
And then
the
you were
day.
stuck in Zanzibar for 12 days.
Exactly. So for me, that was like a big mess, because my flight is cancelled. I have no way back. So I think every trip has kind of
Added to you.
added to it. Yeah.
So now a lot of people, and I've seen this, and I'm not a big advocate of this. A lot of people love living life through the lens of a camera.
Yeah.
Right, whether it's their phone, and they're more busy making videos and making pictures versus actually soaking in the
Yeah.
culture, soaking in the environment, right? We know that you should soak that culture.
Yeah.
We know that. How do people resist their cameras? Like, you are a content creator, this for you is work, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that when you go to these places, like when you went to Mount Everest Base Camp, you want to soak that in. How do you tell yourself, I'm going to shut off my phone, put it in my pocket, and now just try to enjoy?
So, for me, it's like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I have to tell my people about it.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of the opposite, because when I really when I'm enjoying the moment and when I'm enjoying the travel, I feel like
You have to share it.
I want to share it, because this is so beautiful and it's with me, and it moved something in me. So what if I could share that with someone and they get inspired with it? So I think when I'm creating travel content as well, I don't really want to talk to the people. I want to take them with me. And I guess that's why people resonate a lot with my travel content, and probably that's why I've shown that in my content, that like we're in this together. So I think I've balanced that out.
Would you enjoy a trip
Yeah.
if you could not take your phone on it?
There was this one trip I did. I went to Nepal for 3 days, and my Instagram doesn't know about it at all. I've never posted. So this is probably the first time I'm trying. On a very random week, I just went to Nepal and I tried that. I was like, no phone, nothing, just with my friends. We went biking. We did everything. And I really enjoyed that. But you know why I enjoyed it? Because I've been to Nepal for like 10 days and I have beautiful content and I have beautiful videos.
So for you, it's more about the content and taking your followers on a journey rather than shutting off and enjoying.
Yeah, because I enjoy it. Like, that is something I enjoy. I enjoy sharing my moments with my audience because I really, really want them to be able to experience that if they really could. Like, that makes me really happy. So for me, if I'm experiencing something, I would love
to inspire people.
To just share that and to move it ahead. Because what would I do with that information? While it makes me feel so great, I just feel like it's a responsibility in me to just pass it forward. So I think that is mindset.
I think that's very, and I think that is a very good way of actually doing stuff. It is actually a very good way of making sure that you're enjoying it, but also paying it forward. It's a very good way of, I think it's a very good way of enjoying your trip more than the personal, where you actually are paying it forward. And I'm sure the people who are following get ideas, show it to their partners, show it to their families, and then end up over there.
Yeah, but of course, like, to be very real with you, apart from this, when there are times where I really cannot show up, that usually has happened when I'm not on my trips. When I'm on my trips, I'm really, really like at my best.
It's for you work game mode, right? It's game mode.
It stimulates me, you know. And when I'm not traveling, sometimes I go in this loop of like, oh, I don't feel like showing up. I don't feel like creating content. And it's okay for me. I feel like I'll take a break and I'll come back. It's fine. I'm not saving lives. I'm not, you know, it's okay for me to just take a break and not.
So it's so interesting. People go on travel to take a break. You, after travel, take a break.
Yeah, I take a break after travel.
That's your work. So one last question, right? And this is, again, given the fact that today self-care, self-love, all of these things are very important. And travel has become, again, a part of their self-care. And whether it's driven by social media, whether it's driven by people who are advocating mental health, is a break really, when people travel, is it really a shut-off? Or is it a reset? Or is it an escapism where they can escape their lives and come back? Like, where for you is that mental well-being? Like, what aspect of mental well-being is linked to travel?
So I think earlier travel used to be a luxury. It was meant for, like, if you have a lot of money, you go and you travel and you experience it. Times have changed since then. A lot of people do travel because they want to either escape, like you mentioned, or, you know, but I feel like traveling does not really, it's not a fix to anything. It will definitely add to it, but it's not really a fix. You know why? Because you will come back questioning a lot more things. So yes, you could go to the beach in one of the beautiful islands and you could relax there and you could, you know, have a nice drink and think that you're escaping. But what you're really coming back with is like,
more questions and answers.
Wow, like, why am I coming? Why am I doing this? Why am I sitting in traffic for hours? You know, it makes you really, really question a lot of things. But I think if you are able to take even that one trip a year, I really, really, you know, think that just do it. Like, even if it is to a neighboring country, and even if you can go by road, just do it, because in those moments is actually when you start listening to your thoughts. Whether you're traveling solo, I love traveling solo, but I also love traveling with my friends and with my partner alone, because it just opens your eye to so many things. So of course I feel like it really, really does shift your perspective, and I feel like travel has ruined me because I no longer feel comfortable in the place I am at, and I want to step out of that zone, and that feeling makes me really, really, you know, uncomfortable. But that's the That's the point.
And I agree. At work in the 9 to 5, your boss, your manager, everyone is like, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But they mean get out of your comfort zone at work.
At work.
I think in life, as you rightly said, getting out of your comfort zone and going and making these new experiences, positive, negative, planned, unplanned, these all are very, very important.
Yeah.
And they, as you said, you bring back something from every trip.
Yeah.
I didn't want to share this, but I'll share something with you very quickly. Is that for me, there's one aspect of travel on mental health which has helped me a lot. Is once a year, I take 2 days and I go to a place where there is no cell phone reception, there are no people. And even the room service or the food is left outside my door.
Oh, wow.
I don't want human interaction. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to interact with anybody because I feel at that point in time, I'm left alone with my thoughts. The first 8 hours, I think about the world because it's very hard to disconnect. Then for 8 hours, you're like trying to pass the time because again, no phone, no nothing, no television, no access to the outside world. The last one I did was in Africa. And after that, you break down. And after that, you have more questions than answers.
Yeah.
And then you sort of start stringing together a bit of perspective. And then when you come back, you're like, okay, now I have this new perspective of what I want, what I don't, what is my good, what is my bad, what is my ugly. And then you can refresh and restart life. I think that's one thing which, if anybody listening would like to take it, that for me was, and I didn't want to share it, but while you were talking, it just reminded me of all those trips.
That's so good because I did something like that here in Dubai. I went for a staycation for 2 days and I told my husband and my family, I don't want to talk or do anything.
No interaction.
I went to the hotel room. I took some sticky notes with me. I put it all on the, and I did a brain dump. And then I started realizing, I'm like, really? Is this even something to be worried about? Like,
Bravo.
I'm so stressed about this. And I just remove it. I fold. I'm like, this is sorted.
And if people don't have any travel plans this summer, this is something I highly, highly recommend. People do, and they continue doing it for once a year. Well, on that thought, thank you so much for your time. Now we have 3 segments which we play with all of our guests.
Oh, okay.
And very quick segments. The first one is called Masala Chai.
Ooh.
So Masala Chai is, I'll tell you a topic and there are going to be 2 sides to the coin and you have to tell me which side of the coin you are on and we'll have a small debate on it.
Okay, perfect.
So all boys, all girls trip on one side and traveling with your partner on one side. Which one is better?
Traveling with my partner.
Traveling with your partner. But what about the I need my boys' time or I need my girls' time? Which one is more fun according to you?
Still with my partner. I think he's my best friend and it's very exciting to discover new sides of him when we're traveling and of course avoiding fights. But
when you discover new sides while you're traveling, there are a few evenings that are spent fighting with one another.
Yeah. So I think that's nice.
So you're not in favor of having that, you don't think that, that booking a villa in somewhere in Thailand and having a nice big party with all of your friends would top maybe a quiet stroll down Baku in Azerbaijan's old town with your partner?
We actually did that, and surprisingly, since I've been with my husband for like 10 years now, all our friends and everyone, we're all intertwined. So even if I'm on my friend's trip, he's probably there. Or on his all-boys trip, I'm probably there because he'll be like, hey, Kaunain, you're good at planning. Come with us. So I love that about us.
So you're traveling with your partner is more than... Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So our next segment is called J1, Just One, where I'm going to ask you a question about just one thing and you have to answer just that one thing, okay? If there is somebody who's coming to Dubai for the first time, okay, or maybe even somebody who's been living in the country for some time and has not been to, if you could tell them to visit just one place in Dubai, the first place, what would that be?
I would tell them to take a caravan and do a road trip to the 7 Emirates in 24 hours. And if they can't do it, I'll help them plan it out because I've done it. And it's amazing because you see so much. You see the nature, you see the culture, you see the tradition, you see luxury, and you're just like, wow, this country has everything.
That's beautiful. So for people watching, people who have not come to Dubai and are planning to come to Dubai, or who have lived in Dubai and have not done it, a road trip across the 7 Emirates in 24 hours. Or if you want to take 48, it's okay. Some people like me can't drive for that long. But that is something which, according to Kaunain, is the number one thing to do in the UN. Not the nightlife, not any other attraction. This is the number one thing to do. And I'll take you up on that offer because I've not driven. I've driven to all 7 Emirates,
Yeah.
but I haven't gone
In one day.
in one day. But
Yeah.
I will take you on that offer, and I will help you plan. I will help you plan me that one trip.
You should, because when you have that one chance, you actually look for the best thing in that particular emirate, and
go
then
to.
you think that, wow, like this is amazing. So
Super. Well, thank you so much for that. The last segment is something for which I will have to pull out my phone.
Okay.
It is something which you have seen a lot growing up, and so have I, which is called Rapid Fire Round.
wow.
I know. Lots of rapid, lots of fire. And top 3 foods in the world.
Chinese, Thai curry, and Kerala food.
Excellent. Your favorite city that you visited?
Hermanus in South Africa.
Very nice. One thing that you cannot travel without?
Makeup, because I want to feel good when I'm feeling the best.
Best.
Yeah.
Want to feel good while I'm feeling the best. That's
Well, I want
interesting.
to look good when I'm feeling the best.
I want to look good. Okay. One thing that you cannot travel with?
Ooh, negativity.
Okay. First word which comes to your mind when I say the following.
Okay.
Dubai,
Luxury, glamour.
New York.
Ooh, pedestrian crossing.
Okay. Thailand,
Beaches.
Japan,
Ooh, mochi.
London.
The song. Bollywood.
In London, Bollywood.
Yeah,
That's the amount of Indians I think that are in London now. That with London, your mind goes to
Yeah.
Bollywood. Zanzibar
Oh, me getting stranded.
and Maldives.
Oh, my first snorkeling experience.
Interesting. Okay. If you were a tourist in Dubai, what
Yeah.
are 3 restaurants that you would go and eat at?
Ooh, I would definitely go to Hashmi's in Barsha. Oh my God, I love it. And there's this place called Intezar where we have Chinese. We've been having it for 10 years now, and
Okay.
the taste is the same.
Same, okay.
And it's not the typical Chinese, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And of course, like you can't leave Dubai without having a nice meal with shawarma, baklava, falafel.
Yeah. Okay. And what would that place be? Your favorite shawarma, baklava and falafel?
I think Operation Falafel is really
good.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Your favorite travel partner? I think you've answered that already.
Me.
Me? I thought you would say your husband. Please take note. She can't travel without you, but you're not the favorite travel partner. Has someone ever slid into your DM asking you for a private travel?
For a private travel? What does that mean?
Please travel with me.
Oh, so many.
So
So many. In good ways and in the most creepy ways.
Oh, shit. And if you could pick anyone in the world to travel with, a famous celebrity,
Okay.
who would you pick?
Ooh, I think Indian or
Anywhere. Just pick whoever your favorite celebrity is. If you could pick one famous person to travel with, who would that be?
I think lately, Samay Raina.
Samay Raina.
Yeah.
He'll at least keep you entertained.
That's why. Listen, I've got the itinerary and everything sorted. Just entertain.
Give me the humor.
Just give me the humor.
Actually, give me the voiceover to my videos.
Yeah,
He's-
actually, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
he's going to be very, very, very good in giving the voiceovers to your videos. And the last thing is, what is the next country that you would like to visit?
Would I like to, or where I'm going?
No, would you like to?
I would love to visit New Zealand.
Where Lord of the Rings was shot.
Yes.
It is beautiful.
I really want to go there. Oh, and I really want to go to Antarctica as well.
Yeah,
that's
that-
like my ultimate dream.
Yeah, people want to go to Paris, Milan. This one wants to go to Antarctica. That's
That'll
very
happen,
interesting.
inshallah.
Well, inshallah. And on that note, thank you so much for coming
Thank
and
you.
sharing your tips with us, sharing your experiences with us, sharing what travel can be and is beyond just a break and a checkbox and just going someplace because everyone's going. Thank you so much for all your perspective.
Thank you so much for having me. I think it's great to talk about all the parts of travel that we don't get to see online, and you're doing so great bringing that topic out in light. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
grateful.
And thank you everyone for watching. I hope that your summer is good, that your summer is fun, that your summer is with your loved ones or with yourself. And I hope that you have a great break, whether you travel or not. Till next time, I'm your host, Asad Raza Khan, signing off. Take care, keep smiling, and God bless.